The End of Oak Street is directed by David Robert Mitchell, and this is my first film from this director. I didn't see It Follows or Under the Silver Lake, although those are films I've heard nothing but great things about, and I'm very much looking forward to them more so because I very much enjoyed this film. Real quick, I just want to talk about the marketing for this film. So, when the first trailer came out, it just seemed like a family in their neighborhood gets ripped out from where they are and put into a new environment, and they got to figure out how to survive in this new environment. It was intriguing and interesting, and I was looking forward to the film. And then the second trailer came out, and the marketing took a completely different turn. And if you don't know what the film is about, I'm going to tell you what the film is really about. So, the neighborhood gets ripped out from where they are and placed into the dinosaur times, and now they have to deal with a bunch of dinosaurs running amok. I really wish, like, I know it was never going to happen, but I really wish that the dinosaurs were a surprise. And watching this film for the first time, you go, holy shit, this is a dinosaur movie? Because that would have been so damn exciting and so surprising. And Twitter would have blown up or whatever. Social media would have blown up with people saying, "Oh my god, this it's a dinosaur movie. Whoa." Like I really wish either I didn't see the trailers or the marketing wasn't that. But it doesn't deter from the enjoyment of this film because I very much enjoyed this. I had a blast with it. It's a very fun dinosaur film. When was the last time we had like a really fun dinosaur film? I think this is better than all of the Jurassic World movies, really. It's so damn fun. I'm sure it was very intentional that Michael Giacchino is the composer for this film because he composed the music for the Jurassic World films. And those are scores that I thought amplified those films a lot more so because Michael Giacchino is a great composer. And while watching the film and hearing the music, I'm thinking, oh wow, this sounds like something like John Williams would do for the Jurassic Park film. Fun, exciting, and suspenseful. Just a lot going on. And then when I saw it was Michael Giacchino, I thought, okay, yeah, that makes sense because he did the Jurassic World films. So yeah, the score is my favorite aspect of the film, outside of the look and the excitement and the fun that the film provides as well with all the cool dinosaur stuff happening. I thought the cast all did a great job. Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway as the parents, Greg and Denise. I thought they all did a great job, and even the kids as well. Christian Convery as Brian the son, and Maisie Stella as Audrey the daughter. I thought they all did a good job. I like the bond that they have with each other. They pull off like really scared performances anytime the dinosaur stuff is happening. They have like a fun physicality to them. Like you can tell that they're or like they just give it off that they're in danger from these dinosaurs that are like right next to them. I just think the cast all did a really good job, and I like the chemistry they all have with each other, even if they're just sitting down talking about, oh my god, are we gonna die, or just having fun or whatever. I just think it's a good set of characters to have. My issue with these characters, though, more so has to do with their setup. I didn't really dig the first 10 minutes or so of the film. Um, Mainly because it sets up a lot of character dynamics that don't really feel like they have a lot of payoff to them or that they really have much meaning to the rest of the film. And I know we have to deal with a bunch of dinosaur stuff later on, but they bring up personal issues that I really don't feel like do anything for the plot of the film or anything else afterwards. Like, let's say, for example, in Jurassic Park, the first film, Alan Grant, it's brought up that he doesn't want to have kids. He doesn't do good with kids. And then he's stuck with kids for the rest of the film. And then you come to find out that, oh, he can actually deal with kids. Something like that I think was missing from this film because Greg and Denise have marital problems and it's affecting the kids. And then we see how it's affecting the kids. Brian is dealing with issues with another kid whose arm he broke by accident. Um, the daughter Audrey, she doesn't really have a lot going on for her, honestly. I felt um like her little weird subplot about college and stuff didn't really do anything. She helps explain to the family why they're there by explaining wormholes and stuff. But outside of that, she doesn't really have a whole lot to do. She does provide a nice scene though when she goes to listen to music in the car in the middle of the night, just as like a sort of comforting moment amidst all of the distress going on around them. That was a nice moment. But outside of that, she didn't really have a whole lot to do in terms of like character development and whatnot. Getting back to like the first 10 minutes or so, we're introduced to the film with a block party that the neighborhood is having. Greg says he has to leave to go do some deliveries. And then it's found out that he is a pizza delivery driver doing jobs. They're doing that job on the side to get extra cash. And Denise is upset because she said, "Oh, we're supposed to be spending more time together as a family." And then like right after, she is showing her book to a neighbor um while the block party is happening. Something in what's going on? Why aren't you just hanging out with your kids if you can hang out with your husband? What? I don't know. It like the little things like that happen throughout the film that just sort of bugged me a bit. But it's once Greg comes back from delivering pizzas and the whole family's just hanging out one night, having a conversation at the dinner table. That's when I think the film, you know, picks up and gets going. Like everything before that seemed kind of, it got me thinking, oh, am I going to dig this or not? I don't know. I was just having issues with that first initial setup. More so, especially because a lot of that doesn't really seem to have a lot of weight on the rest of the film. We see the payoff to Brian's character, or at least his weird initial setup, but it doesn't really have anything else to do with the rest of the film. I don't know. And then Denise. Denise's setup more so has to do with her writing her books, and the person she's showing it to is saying, "Oh, I love the part about how this character has a suitcase ready and she's ready to leave her family." So that's initially setting up that she has this idea in her head that she wants to leave this family, that she might be unhappy. And then it doesn't really seem to have any weight on the rest of the film because, yeah, they just stick together just because they're a family, and they can't really go anywhere amidst all the weird dinosaur stuff happening when they find out that they're stuck in the dinosaur times and that their neighborhood is like a tall island, sitting above all the dinosaur stuff happening down there as well. And it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of payoff to that before like the very, very ending, which is kind of interesting and weird. I'll get to that later on. I want to talk some spoilers in a bit. I just want to talk about aspects that I like in the film. I think the film looks pretty good. A lot of great lighting choices, more so especially in the house, and nighttime scenes look really nice outside. The dinosaurs look pretty good. The special effects on them are pretty damn good. There's usage of the diopter shots. I think that's what it's called, when a piece of glass, I think, is put either on the lens somewhere in the middle of the lens, so that you can get a clear focus shot of something in the foreground and in the background. I felt like the use of that in some scenes felt a little distracting because I wasn't sure what the purpose was of that, outside of just getting rid of the need to just do shot reverse shot moments and seeing that scene feeling a little boring of just, oh, cut to this character saying something, cut to this character saying something. Now we get two characters in the same shot saying something, but it never really felt like there was motivation to use it or a purpose for using it. And it just felt kind of weird sometimes. I don't know. I didn't really dig those shots a whole lot. What the film excels at the most are the dinosaur scenes, I think. They're fun and exciting and violent. It's a pretty violent film. I didn't expect there to be so much violence and blood in this film. It's not super gory or anything, but there's a lot of death. There's a lot of dead bodies everywhere, a lot of blood. Dinosaurs just eating a bunch of people. It provides for a lot of fun and excitement. And especially the way the camera moves when we see dinosaurs moving in the background and they're not the main focus, but you notice it happening and the characters are in the foreground moving around and the dinosaurs are like sort of following them in the background. Just any time there's stuff like that happening, I think it just adds to the visual flair of this film and the overall excitement and suspense in this film. It's a really damn fun film with all these dinosaur scenes. There's never a dull moment with the dinosaur stuff happening. I think it's all really fun and exciting. It's suspenseful and shocking. It's a very shocking film. There's a few moments that had me audibly shout, "What the fuck?" Because like I didn't expect certain things to be shown, and it made it all the more exciting and enjoyable because I didn't really expect those certain things to happen. I'll say it in a bit. I just want to get my thoughts out of the way. With this being a J.J. Abrams film, like a J.J. Abrams produced film, he produced this, right? Yeah. With this being a J.J. Abrams produced film, people are going to be thinking, okay, what's the twist? What's going to be the ultimate reveal at the end? Yada yada. I like the explanation as to why the event is taking place. The daughter character says early in the film she's talking about Carl Sagan, um, and then she's explaining, oh, it's possible that we got put into a wormhole and that we got placed back in time. Okay, simple enough, super simple enough. And then more things start happening later on in the film when the characters end up seeing these like wormhole portal things, and then they talk about other characters, and I'm thinking, oh fuck, is it gonna be like some stupid reveal that someone's actually controlling all this or stuff? But no, it doesn't go into anything stupid or wacky like that. So I very much enjoy the explanation as to why the characters are in the position they're in. It just raises up questions in the end. So I'm going to talk about spoilers real quick. If you don't want to hear spoilers, just click to this time at the end of the video to hear my final thoughts. That's your warning. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, Greg dies in this film. That was one of the moments that made me shout out, what the fuck? Because I didn't expect Greg to fucking die. They're running away from, I don't know what dinosaur it is, a T-Rex. A T-Rex like dinosaur. I don't know what it is. I'm not a dinosaur nerd. I'll ask my friend later. They're running away from a dinosaur, and Denise, she's cornered by it in a house, and then Greg runs over to it, hits it with a hammer, and then he knocks it out with a hammer, like a big sledgehammer. I'm thinking, what the fuck? But the dinosaur's just playing possum, and then it gets Greg. Like it picks him up, like picks him up by the leg, and then it fucking throws him down with its mouth on the ground, and his legs ripped off. And I'm like, holy shit, that just happened to our main character, Greg, Ewan McGregor. That happened to our main fucking character, and he's screaming in pain and yelling. I'm like, holy shit, how are we gonna go on the rest of the film with our character's leg just fucking ripped off, and then the dinosaur just fucking eats him? My mouth was fucking dropped open for like a few minutes, and I was just like this. Holy fuck. Like, I didn't expect that. And there's a lot of violence like that throughout the film. But like, holy shit. What the fuck? Um, and I was just thinking, what the fuck's gonna happen in the rest of the film? So the family also with this other girl that they get, she's like a sort of love interest, but not really to Brian's character. I really don't see why she's in the film at all. Like they save her, and then it sort of seems like she's just growing more of a bond to the sister than Brian, and then she just doesn't do anything. So, like, what was the point of her being in the movie at all? I don't know. So, anyways, they save her, and the rest of the family is walking, and then they see another light at a house, and they're thinking, okay, if we go to that house, jump to the portal, maybe we can go back to our time. And then Denise says, oh, it's at the librarian's house, and I'm thinking, okay, so the librarian was a character that Denise went to earlier in the film because her neighbor showed her a flower in the backyard and said, hey, there's this weird flower. I don't know what it is. It seemed like it grew overnight. So Denise goes to the library and she's saying, hey, do you know what flower this is? I can't find it. And the librarian just happens to know that it's a flower that's been extinct for millions and millions of years from the dinosaur times. And so I'm thinking, okay, why does this character just suddenly know that? And then, yeah, why does the character suddenly know that? And then they mention, oh, it's the librarian. And I'm thinking, fuck, the librarian probably is controlling all this weird, stupid shit in some weird twist. But no, she's just a regular librarian, and the portal just happens to be at her house. Before the characters jump into it, I'm thinking, okay, we're seeing like the portal phase in and out of existence, and it's wherever the portal's at, it like leaves behind carvings of where it's been, right? So it's this big sphere, and once the portal's gone, when Denise and Greg see it at first, it leaves behind a space where the sphere would have been, and it carved out areas around it. And it carved out areas of a tree, and I'm thinking, okay, one of the characters is gonna jump into the portal, but before they can actually jump into the portal disappears, and the characters are gonna get impaled by the tree, and then they're all gonna get killed off one by one, and there's gonna be no happy ending. That's what I was thinking was gonna happen in this film, but no. The character just gets hit by the tree, and they just have to go back upstairs again. Um, okay. Oh no, there's like weird moments like that that happen. That happens. I guess it explains more so later on in the end because these characters don't want other characters to fall upon the fate that they do. I'll get to that in a bit. So the characters jump to the portal, then it teleports them like 20 minutes before they actually get teleported back in time. And so they're thinking, okay, is there a way we can stop ourselves from going back in time? Or is there a way we can stop everything from happening? Because we saw our dad die. Is there a way we can stop that? And then we see Denise go to a phone booth. And I'm thinking, okay, she's going to call Greg um, and have him deliver pizza to this address so he doesn't go back home. And then he doesn't go back home, but then the neighborhood goes back in time. We see the neighborhood get wormholed back in time. So that raises the question of, are the characters like what the fuck? Like like we know that Denise and the kids go back in time, but then that just creates the paradox of, do they go back in time and still are able to get back to the present, and whatever. Because like Greg doesn't die, so they don't have the motivation to get back to the present and then prevent Greg's death, right? So it raises a weird paradox. It doesn't hinder my enjoyment of the film. It's just, you think about it because it's a time travel movie, and then you just think about it and you go, that can't happen because yada yada and yada. So it's just kind of weird, okay? And then we see that Denise actually called up a bunch of people and told them to leave the neighborhood before they can get teleported back in time to the dinosaur times. But then we also see that not only does the neighborhood just crater and go back in time, but it just basically swaps places with the past. So in place of the neighborhood is actually all the dinosaur area that was there before, which is kind of weird because we see that the wormhole carved out spaces in certain areas. So rather than just like the dinosaur times being left in a certain area, it just carves out a part of the house or something. I don't know, just weird things like that. Just I think about, but it doesn't hinder my enjoyment of the film. I don't know. It's just kind of weird that, hey kids, I know you saw your dad get mauled by a dinosaur, but here's new dad who you didn't have the experience of with the past week. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to think about. One more thing I forgot to add. There's just like weird moments throughout the film, like characters having weapons in their hand, but they don't use it, even though they know they're in danger. Like there's a scene of Greg and Denise trying to get back into their house as velociraptors are chasing them, and Denise has a gun in her hand, but she's not using it when she could be shooting at the dinosaurs running after them. There's a good distance between them, but she's not using it, right? She's not using the gun to shoot them. Greg could knock on the door, say, "Kids, let us in," while she shoots the dinosaurs. I don't know, like weird small moments like that happen, and it's like, why aren't they doing this? And then Brian, the son, he's just a shitty shot using this bow and arrow, like this children's bow and arrow. I don't know. It's just kind of funny when it happens sometimes. Um, yeah, just weird little moments like that happen throughout the film. Or more specifically, there's a moment where Greg sees that his dog is they have a dog, and the dog he sees that the dog is actually there with them back in time, and he's being chased by velociraptors. But instead of telling the family, hey, the dog's alive, he just goes out by himself. You know, no experience fighting these dinosaurs. Oh, I'm gonna be super brave and go out and look for my dog amidst all the dinosaurs happening. I don't know, just characters doing dumb things. I guess still happen in this film, but I don't know. Real quick, I wanted to touch back again on Denise feeling like she wanted to leave her family. Like, I wish there was not only more setup to that, but more payoff to that, at least during the film. Like, I wish they were confronted more about that, especially with Greg. They said, Greg, you have issues with confrontation. You want to not talk about the issues and whatnot. They bring that up like once. And I wish that was something more for these characters to overcome. Like, what if Denise really felt like she wanted to leave the family and sort of go on her own amidst the dinosaur shit happening? Or what if Greg was not confrontational about fighting the dinosaurs? And what if he was, trying to be super optimistic to the kids? Like, everything's going to be okay, which he is, but more so um, just him not being confrontational about, the dinosaur shit or whatever. I don't know. It just feels like those conflicts are set up, but for me at least, there's not a whole lot of payoff to it. So overall, I really enjoyed this film mainly because of the dinosaur sequences. They're really fun and exciting and suspenseful and enjoyable. They make up most of my enjoyment of the film, along with the score, the look of the film, just the direction in general. Whenever we're just following characters walking around and following the dinosaurs with them, the framing of it all is super interesting and adds to the suspense of the film. I really enjoy the score from Michael Giacchino. All the cast does a great job, I think. They pull off pretty damn good performances. And this is something I really want to check out again. I saw this in IMAX, and it looked great. It sounded great. Yeah, I really want to check this out again, and I very much recommend this as a very fun summer grab a popcorn and large soda summer fest. Okay, go check this out. I very much recommend it. I had a blast with it. I think it's super fun, and I'm giving The End of Oak Street a B. I really want to check it out again, and I might do that next week or so. So, have you seen The End of Oak Street? What did you think about it? Did you like it or not like it? Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below, and I'll be back with more enjoyable content like this. So, yeah, bye.